Good evening and welcome to Thoughts from Wine and another episode of A Claret and View from the Terrace. Tonight I am joined as usual by Mr. Gates. How you doing, sir?
Not so bad, thank you.
doing
Yourself?
Well? Fantastic. And I'm also joined by James Fatboy Fever. How you doing, James?
All good, mate. All good. All good.
Fantastic. Right, boys, as usual, this is our opinions chat show. We're going to get some people in from the comments as and when we start this off. So, first things first, then let's get it right underway and see if anyone else wants to come in and have their say on this gentleman from his comments on TalkSport this morning. So, for those of you who are unaware, like my one of my hosts this evening was, I know, right, Gatesy? He actually came out today and said that if Declan Rice has a good Euros, we could expect to lose him for something in the region of 50 to 70 million pounds. Now, considering we've already come out and said that if we do sell him, he's going to cost upwards of 100. First question, where does Dean come from with this? And two, what is it with TalkSport and that radio station trying to disrupt everything as a club we're doing this season? James, let's start with you.
How long you got? this radio station, mate, drives me berserk. Well, we spoke the other week and we turned around and basically said that it'd be something else. Then it was the Bowen thing. Like, all of a sudden, he goes on Twitter and something appears on there. And then you got the Cafal thing, and now you got this thing coming up. £60 million for Declan Rice is an insult. It's an insult to us as a club. It's an insult. It's an insult to every fan. This man is worth £60 million a foot. He's got 2 feet, so that's 120 million. If they want to take him out of our club, it's 120 million. It's as simple as that. He's young. He's only going to get better. And if he's performing now, what's he going to be like in the next few years? I don't know what Deanie's been doing, mate. I really don't. Do you know what? But I will say one thing. That's poor journalism from him. He's an ex-footballer trying to be a journalist. And I'll be honest with you, I think us three here right now could come up with a better figure. Do you know what I mean? Of where we are with Declan Rice.
I think Tommy's got the right idea in the chat.
See your thoughts.
The only thing I can think of, he must have taken a few whacks over the head over the last few years, because I just don't understand how he's come to that figure. I mean, the guy. I mean, the board of, as you said, the board have already on record as saying north of 100 million before they would even consider it. Now, whether you think that's the going price for a Declan Rice or not, that's entirely another conversation. But if they've said north of 100 million, so let's say for the sake of argument 110, 120, how on God's green earth has he come to the conclusion that 50 to 70 million will get him out of the club? That just beggars belief. I'm sorry. He's either taken one too many whacks to the head over the years for Watford, or he's been smoking something. I really don't know what. But it's one or the other. I mean, just no.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't want to keep giving them. I really don't want to keep giving this radio station our time of day. I really don't want to keep going down the road where we have to keep going back and discussing them. But they're really beginning to irk me. Yeah, they're really beginning to irk me, boys. Like we're on the right now. We're riding the crest of a wave of what is an exceptional season.
Yeah,
and he is one of a couple of standout players in that squad, probably 4 or 5 at the minute that I'd consider to be standout players. I'm talking players that, if at the end of the season don't make, the Premier League squad of the season, if you will, I'm going to be a bit peeved. I'm going to be a bit. I'm going to be fuming, to be fair. You got Declan Rice in there, you got Souček, you got Soufal, who only joined us, not so long ago. Dawson deserves to be there. So, they're just trying to disrupt everything we do. We saw it, James. We were talking before we came on. We were talking about the whole Jared Bowen thing last week. That kind of just absolutely came out of nowhere. I'm not being funny, right? Who's going? And here's this is key for me in all of this, right? Who is going through Jared Bowen's Twitter feed all the way back to 2012?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
And to find something that can be used. Who's doing it and why? That's a key for me right now. There's a question. I do apologise. I'm outside, guys. It's going a bit dark.
The thing is,
so I am sorry.
We spoke last week, and I said there'd be something else that comes out of TalkSport. And so far, in a space of 7 days since speaking to you last week, we've had 3 stories. Yep. 3 stories.
Bowen, it's ridiculous, mate.
Yeah, and the Kafal one about Kafal saying he backs his Czech Republic teammate up, and everyone's on Twitter going, "Oh, you can't be doing that," etc. And then you've got this one today, and it's becoming a bit of. When I said to you the other week about an agenda, it's starting to look like there is a vendetta against West Ham. And do you know what's a bit of an insult? Is Lee Clayton is a West Ham fan supposedly. He lives out in Surrey.
Yeah.
Gives it all that. He's a West Ham fan. He's been to games and all that. Been in the ballroom and all that. How does he allow this to keep carrying on in space of in a space of 7 days? Like 3 subjects in 7 days. That's baffling in my eyes.
And it's not just 3 subjects. Oh my word! Put my teeth back in. It's not just 3 subjects, is it? Really, it's 3 negative pieces. It's not like they're showing us in a positive light. Now, listen, I'm not going to sit here and condone Jared Bowen's tweet from nearly 10 years ago. I'm not going to. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into perspective, and I'm going to use my brain, and I'm going to realise it was a 15-year-old kid, as far as I'm concerned, in a world that was 10 years ago and 10 years ago different.
I think he was even younger than that, Duke. I think he was even younger than that.
All right, yeah.
Duke, we have someone in the green room. Can I bring them in?
Please do. Let's get their opinions on this. Who we got?
Talk to me, Steve.
Hello, guys.
Good evening, Steve.
How you doing, James? I should remember that name because that's my son's name. My opinion on this is quite interesting. I watched Lee Clayton's interview with Gio on Emma's chat.
Yep.
And he was very much, no, I haven't got an agenda. No, I don't take that level of control. But the thing that really annoyed me in all of this was the Bowen tweet. He's a 15-year-old kid. He was a 15-year-old kid when he did it. Now, I've got a 16-year-old and a 13-year-old at home. And he's not, they do stupid things. That's what kids do. They do stupid things. And although I don't support what he said in his tweet, he was 15, and can we please have some common sense? There's just none of it around at the moment. It's all, oh, this happened to me, that happened to me. Look at me, you're a bad person, I'm a victim. Sorry, some people just need to grow up and say, crap happened in life. And Declan Rice for 60 million quid? Really? I could see Declan leaving at the end of the season, north of 100. I've got to be honest. But by all accounts, he said if we get European football, he's going nowhere. So even more incentive to qualify for Europe. I just think the whole thing is absolutely farcical. And the Bowen thing, I just think is crazy. But somebody come up with a very good point to me. If they do give him a ban for this, supporters from other teams will start trawling through everybody's Twitter, going back as far as they can to see what they can find to get players suspended. And the FA in this have got to say, right, okay, he was a kid. We let it go. He's more educated now, and that'll be it. Because otherwise, you're opening up a big can of worms.
Yeah, listen, I couldn't agree with you, Steve. Can you see your thoughts on this? Give your opinion here, buddy.
I was just going to say we've just been joined by another member of the panel. Do you mind if we pull him in?
Bring him in.
I give my thoughts. Mr. Miles.
Evening, Andy.
I think that was a. Hang on a
You're on
minute.
mute again.
No, he's hanging us on a minute. Gatesy, give us your opinion. We'll come back to Andy in a minute.
Right now, let me just come at it from this angle. Right now, he was 15-year-old child, which is what he was. He was a child. Okay. Now, so at the time, he wasn't earning a wage as a footballer. Correct? Are we agreed on that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. If
It was a minor.
Jared Bowen, yeah. So if Jared Bowen was a retired footballer, what jurisdiction would the FA or the Premier League have over him at that point in his life?
Well, they wouldn't.
Okay, so what's the difference?
Well, this is the point, Gatesy, isn't it? This is the issue that I think all of us are having, from my opinion anyway, is the fact that if it was something that was said today, okay, by a 15-year-old, again, it's still a 15-year-old, but we're talking today, and today is a slightly different world that we live in, and we know damn well now that those types of words are frowned upon, not to be used, and are quite frankly considered racist. But you go back 10 years ago when the world was a different place, okay? When the world was, listen, that word has always been thrown around freely in groups of teenagers,
rap artists and whatever.
Be them black, be them white with black friends. This word has been thrown around and banded around for years. It's not acceptable now, and we understand this. But then it was frowned upon, but not considered unacceptable as it is today. So,
but as I say, if Jared Bowen was a retired footballer, the FA and the Premier League would be powerless. Society could make a judgment on his moral code and all the rest of it. But as far as the Premier League and the FA were concerned, because he's not a footballer, because he's not drawing a wage as a footballer or a manager, he's retired. He's sort of like he's running a pub, or he's got his own haulage business, or whatever it is he's gone into after he's retired. The FA and the Premier League could do nothing to put any sanction on Jared Bowen. Now, this is at the other end of the spectrum because he was 15 years of age. He's therefore not a professional footballer. He is not drawing a living as a footballer. So can someone tell me what is the difference between one end of the spectrum and the other? For me, the FA and the Premier League have no jurisdiction here. It happened when he was a 15-year-old child. The legal definition of a child is someone under the age of 16. He was a child. He's not a child anymore. And if that tweet had happened at the age of 24 as a West Ham player, I would say, fine, sanction him, do what you got to do. But he was a child. Now, can anyone sitting here or in the live chat or anyone that watches this subsequently, can anyone honestly turn around that when they were a teenager, say that they never said anything, never wrote anything, never did anything, that 20 years, 10 years, whatever later, you look back and go, well, that was a little bit naughty. I wish I hadn't done that. But once you've done it, you've done it. You can't go back and rewrite history. We've got this thing of, we like to rewrite history. We like to, erase things that that are a bit inconvenient and this, that, and the other. The cancel culture, I think I've heard people calling it.
Yeah.
It's just gone beyond the joke. Listen, we all make mistakes in life. And the trick is you learn from it and you don't repeat it going forwards.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's really what it boils down to.
And to counter that also with what you're saying, he's 100% bang on. You've only got to look at what's happened to AFTV as Claude.
Yes, I was
he
just
was
thinking
getting trialled. Yeah, you know what I mean? And RIP to him and his family, mate, because what they're going through right now must be tragic. And when people are going through depression, it just seems like people want to knock people down into a depression state, and then kick them while they're down, while they're in that state, until they can't take no more. And it's there's no morals no more. There's no respect no more. That is the problem with the society. And going back to what you're saying about Bowen, I agree with you totally. I can't not agree with you on that. I just think to myself, it's someone who's got on there looking to find something, and they've found something what they've wanted, and they thought, and they've aired it. But this is not the Bowen thing. If I'm personally honest, I don't think we have anything to worry about there. I think he'll get a warning. He's never really been in trouble with anything. When Edison Cavani done it, he was playing at the time. He was tweeting or on Instagram at the time when he got his fine.
Yeah.
And so this is not like he's done it after a game and said that. So honestly, I think it'd be dealt with behind closed doors. I think it'd be he'd probably have to go to some sort of like training centre, like to sort of learn about things like that, and then go from there.
Marzi, before we jumped on to the sorry, Steve, Tuesday, before we moved on to the whole Jared Bowen and the tweet thing, we were talking about Declan Rice, Andy, and we were talking about the fact that Troy Deeney's come out this morning on the breakfast show on Talk Sport and claimed that if he has a good Euros, he'll be off and for about between 50 and 70 million quid. And we were talking a minute ago about the fact that, Talk Sport have a habit of trying to derail our season with these so-called, for me, nonsensical opinions of their people that they've got going on. Trevor Sinclair had his say on the Jared Bowen situation. Deeney's come out today and had his comment on Declan Rice. We were saying, again, same as last week, James brought up that there seems to be some sort of vendetta. They've got an agenda against the club. Obviously, what's your thoughts on Deeney with the Rice situation and that with TalkSport, mate?
It's just paper talk, mate. It's just they just want the headlines, and they, like you said, it's a flipping premium number. TalkSport. They want angry West Ham fans. It's normally Baz who Jim White tries to tap up to ring up and go for his rant, and then they go, "What you talk?" and then throw Baz under the bus. It's all TalkSport, and like you said, it's a radio station. At the end of the day, they want viewers, they want people raging, and fucking 60 million, more like double that before we even start thinking about an offer.
I think James said earlier, it's about 60 million for one leg.
That's right.
But the thing is, where do they come up with these figures from? What do they base it on? Stats? It's probably up in the top 5 for interceptions, probably up the top 5 for most passes. It's probably
the only thing I can think of why they keep bringing up low balling figures is because they must think West Ham are skint. That's the only thing I can think of. They must think that.
Where have they got that from, James?
I've got no idea. I've got no idea, and I couldn't.
Well, listen, we know that Lee Clayton. But we know that Lee Clayton knows. Yeah, exactly. Jim White, Lee Clayton, they both know the owners of the club. Are the owners feeding that down? So when we hit the summer transfer window and he goes for 60 million quid, we're not surprised by it because we're being fed this.
I'm sorry, but if he goes for 60 million pound, it'd be a riot. 60 million pounds.
I agree.
Right.
I agree. If you thought what happened at the Burnley game was bad, if you thought the Burnley game was bad, it will be like like a chip tea party by comparison. If Declan Rice on the back of a cracking Euros, let's just talk hypothetically here for a moment, okay? Let's just suppose he goes to the Euros and has a tournament that we all know that he's capable of on the basis of what we've seen in Claret and Blue and on the basis that we've recently seen in an England shirt. If he goes to the Euros and has the tournament that we believe he will, and he's then subsequently sold for 60 million quid, there will be massive problems the next time there are fans in that stadium. And I'm not sort of like advocating it. Don't misunderstand me, anyone. I'm not saying it should happen.
Yeah, no, we're not standing there going,
right. Yeah, I'm saying I believe that there is a very, very big possibility that things are gonna go pear-shaped.
Can I say something quickly? Yeah, to me that looks like acid stripping. That looks like you're stripping away.
If he goes for 60 mil,
yeah.
Listen, we've seen it once before. We've seen it once before when Rio left.
Mm.
Yeah. We were, for me, I personally think we had the piss taken out of us with what we got for Rio. Personally, now don't get me wrong. I know they needed to build the Dr. Martin stand, or the Alpine, whatever it was called, the Rio Ferdinand stand. We know they needed to pay for that from somewhere. But this whole Declan Rice thing right now is kicking up so many memories of the of the Rio Ferdinand style for me. I don't know about the rest of you, but that's where it comes from. Someone mentioned a minute ago, Gatesy, you did, I believe, talking about Rice playing for England and obviously how good it's been. What did you guys make of the fact that Southgate he started 2 CDMs against Albania? Now, obviously, in hindsight, we've come away with a 2-0 win. I don't know. We discussed it on the preview show, but in hindsight, do we feel like he needed to? Steve, do you reckon he needed to start 2 CDMs? And how did you think Rice held his own really against the person that they're claiming is his equal in Phillips?
Yeah, just before I answer that, can I just whack something in on the Jared Bowen thing that I think you guys will find interesting?
Yeah.
I'm white British. My wife is black African. She came over here when she was 10. She's been over here for 40 years. I spoke to her about the Jared Bowen thing and she thought it was ridiculous. So that gives you some kind of perspective, not just about how white people feel about it, but everybody does. Her first comment was, "Oh, I'm a kid." And kids do stupid things. So I just thought I'd throw that in the mix. So 2 CDMs, I think he just wanted the result, to be honest. I think the critical thing out there was to go and win, and that's what he did. Didn't have to look pretty. I think Rice played incredibly well. I mean, there's no two ways about it. He was, I thought, head and shoulders above the other CDM. And yeah, he's going to go to the Euros. He's going to have a fantastic Euros. And your point about what happened with Rio, I remember it well, because Rio actually turned around to Harry and said, "I don't want to leave." But off he went to Leeds anyway. Yeah. And I really hope they don't do that with Rice. He says, "I want to stay," but they flog him anyway. I think if they do, there'll be absolute chaos. Now, I'm hopeful of getting a season ticket this year. One of the players I really want to watch is Declan Rice. I want to see how good he is in real life. And all the promises they've made, and I said it last week, all the promises they've made, you sell Declan Rice, what's the point?
Yeah. It does sort of, if they sell Declan for 60 million, I do wonder. I mean, all this nonsense that comes out about we have ambitions of pushing. I mean, it's like that. You look at the pledge that they made when they came in. I mean, the 10-point pledge. If you go on the website, you go on the official club website, it is still there. You can read it, and the one that sticks out is about the pushing for Champions League or European football, I think it was worded as. So, I'm not going to say Champions League, but, we want to be pushing for European football, words to that effect. If you sell the man that is really, he's our captain now. Let's not muck about. He is our captain. He is our inspiration. He is our driving force. He is everything that we as a fan base want to see in a captain and as a star player and all the rest of it. And then for that player to be sold on the back of a stunning European Championship, which I believe he will have, for less than market value, way less, like half price. I mean, I'm not being funny, guys. This isn't an Ann Summers sale. Yeah. This isn't some sort of, buy one dirty DVD, get a second one for free. This is Premier League international players we're talking about. And if the market value says that player is 120 million, then you would be a fool to sell him for anything less than that, especially when you know that your relationship with the fan base is as toxic as it is. You get 60,000 home fans in the ground. Like I say, if you think that the Burnley stuff was bad, oh my God, you ain't seen nothing.
If anything, I know what you're saying. I can't see Rice leaving personally. I honestly can't. But if anything, if Declan Rice has a good summer, that's only the good thing for us. If they see how well we're playing and Declan Rice is playing, that will make players want to come to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair comment. James, you had a question.
Yeah, what it is what I was saying is, what I'm going to say is, obviously the Rio Ferdinand thing, I get that, £18 million to build a new stand. But this is a completely different ballgame now. They took us out of our spiritual home like 5 years ago to go to the next level. And we've got players who can go to the next level, but they're looking to sell to players that are going to take us to the next level. Problem is with the Rio thing, Rio had to be sold, right? Because West Ham were slacking behind. But they had people like Carrick, Cole, Defoe coming along, Lampard. So I weren't really bothered about that, but if you're going to sell Declan Rice for 60 million, why are we in Stratford? Like, what is the real reason why we're there? Like, are we there just to compete and stay in the league and basically have the odd good cup run every sort of 25, 30 years, or are we going to go to the next level? Because the way I look at it is, if you sell Declan Rice for 60 million, you are asking for war. Literally.
Well, not just that, James, but if they want to take us to the next level, sell Declan Rice, and I tell you what, you will take us to the next level. It's called the Championship.
Yeah,
100%.
it's just down a level. Yeah, exactly. All right, listen, we could for me we can go on about Rice for me all night. We can go on about talk sport and everything else. Now, I'm going to change subject and I'm going to shift this over a bit. And I'm pretty sure the record beating 13 that we have watching the live chat right now, watching this live show.
Hey! Tell
I'm
your
one of them, by
friends.
the way. I'm one of them because I'm keeping an eye on the comments
Is that not
on the thing
cheating?
because I've got you on I've got you on big screen. So basically, I was discussing with James and Gatesy, Marley, I believe you were there as well for a little while, a couple of weeks ago, and we were discussing. I think it was the Arsenal game. It was the Arsenal game, and we were having a discussion about the fact that Cresswell was left a bit, he was left a bit open and unprotected, and it got me thinking. All right, it got me thinking along the lines of, Ben Rama. Now, when we signed Anderson a few years ago, again, Gatesy, we were talking. I was in Turkey for the Liverpool game when he made his debut, and we got spanked, would be the best word. And I kind of came to Anderson's defence by saying that, you know what, he's bought for 40 odd million quid. He's an attacking player. You can't expect him to come back and defend. And that was my initial my initial reaction on that one. Now, on Sunday against Arsenal, the same problems arose, didn't they? Let's be honest. Ben Rama wasn't tracking back, and we got opened up down that side. We all thought it was going to be the other side with Tierney and the way Tierney was breaking forward, but we had that failing down the other side. Was it because Ben Rama didn't defend? A few people seem to think so. Now, James, if I remember rightly, you did mention, or Gatesy, it was you, I can't remember who it was, that said we didn't buy Ben Rama for 25 million for his defensive duties. Was it yourself? Yeah,
That was me.
So that being said, I think we had a quick discussion, and kind of the outcome of that discussion was something. I'll wait for that to finish, Casey. Was something along the lines of this. Now, people were clamouring for Fornals to replace Ben Rama because Fornals will do the dirty work and he will defend and support Cresswell a lot more. But then you've got people like me and James who are big big Ben Rama fans, to put it bluntly. You know, we want to see Ben Rama out on that pitch every time. I want to see him doing his thing. That's the reason we bought him. Now, I mock this formation up here. It's the same formation we play every week, except we have Antonio where Lingard is, Lingard where Ben Rama is, and then maybe Ben Rama or Fornals out where we've got Fornals in the picture. Now, I was having a conversation with the boys here, and we kind of got to thinking that I think Antonio needs to be dropped, boys.
Yeah.
Not dropped from the squad. I think he's more of a player that can come on and do those last 30 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's so I mock this formation up. I want you to give me your opinions, and I'm going to start with Steve because Steve wasn't in as part of this conversation originally. You're looking at that formation, Steve. Now, I feel that gives us a little bit more defensively with Fornals coming back to help Cresswell, Bowen coming back to help Soufal, but leaving Ben Rama and Lingard to do the attacking side of things. We know that Fornals has got the energy to get up and down that left. We know that Bowen has got the energy to get up and down that right, supported by those two men in the centre there in Rice and Souček. Would you want to see this, Steve, or would you prefer to see Antonio still starting?
No, I'd take that over Antonio starting every day of the week because Antonio is very injury prone. So if we set up with Antonio week after week after week and he goes down, then we've got to adjust again. If you set up with that, you've got two very, very skillful players playing 9 and Ben Rama in a 10. I think that would frighten any team, to be honest, more than Antonio does. And that's not knocking Antonio. I think he's been great. But he's not a natural finisher like Lingard. Or, come to that, I think, given time, Ben Rama.
Yeah.
The interesting thing for me is Fornals, because Fornals was initially brought as a flair player. You know, and I wonder what else Fornals can add to his game. I've seen glimpses of it where he's done a trick or something and left somebody for dead. So if you could get that out of Fornals as well, that front line is lethal, to be honest. And Bowen, yeah, I think he'll come back to form. So, yeah, I'll go with that every day, Joe.
Andy?
I would take Bowen out and put Masuaku in and move Fornals over to the right.
Okay, give us some reasons. Why? Come at me with that one.
I'm not saying Fornals is great at tracking back, but I'm just giving this for, obviously, I like the team, what you're doing, but I'm just thinking of the next game, Wolves. In my opinion, Masuaku comes in. Masuaku comes in big time to help that right-hand side with Traore and Semedo. That pace is frightening, and Masuaku is obviously a lot quicker than Fornals, and I think Bowen needs a rest still. I still don't think he's 100% right, and I would move Fornals over to the right and have Lingard and Ben Rama interchanging and swapping over between the number 10 and the centre forward.
See, that's a fair shout. I really didn't. I only really put that together just based on a going forward, last 9 games kind of. Let's see if we can stir the wasp's nest a bit here and see if we've got any of the Antonio fans in the live chat. See if I could get a few people trying to jump down my throat, if I'm honest with you. But we don't
like
seem to have this evening. It does seem to be the way, Gatesy. But yeah, no, Andy, that's again. You know what? It's a great shout with Masuaku because he did it with Fredericks. James, hang on, I'll get to you. Stop shaking your nugget. I see where you're coming from. He did it with Fredericks and Soufal against Grealish. So Masuaku does have the pace to kind of help Cresswell out over there. James, come on then, tell us why not.
I don't understand why we're being so defensive all of a sudden. Look at what we've done to Arsenal in 32 minutes.
I think the downside is, I think, because Ben Rama doesn't defend as well, I'd rather have Fornals to be able to help defend. But going forward, those 4 would be amazing.
Yeah, the team you've picked, though, the team that you picked in the positions that you picked them is a good defensive team. Fornells comes back, Bowen comes back, Ben Rama has a 10, Lingard up front. I don't rate Masuaku. I'm sorry, but all he's got is a pair of legs on him. That's all he's got. Like he's got no end product, I'm afraid. He's been with us 6 years. What's he done? Now, if someone can tell me...
But to be fair, he before Moyes come in, Moyes has put him in left wing back in both spells. What he's done, Pellegrini's put him in left back where he's been exposed. That's my argument.
Yeah, but he went up to Liverpool.
For toffee, let's be fair.
That is the problem. He went up to Liverpool. He dangles legs out everywhere in the box. Like, people are cuter than that, and he's a bit clumsy. Like, when Masuaku gets the ball and he runs with the ball, yeah, fine. When Masuaku loses the ball, I panic because you can get away with it up front and you can get away with it on the wing because you've got people like Declan Rice and Souček behind you. But if you do these stupid mistakes in defensive positions, you're going to get exposed against better teams. I'm not disagreeing with Andy with the system. Like, I'm not. I don't. But obviously, I think you can get around it another way other than playing Masuaku in there. And then the same goes for Fredericks. And always another one. Yeah, he might have played it like you're saying. Masuaku's played his best football under Moyes. He's been for 6 years, so it took him 6 years to play his best football. Like, let's get real. Like, if we're going to get real with it, Arthur needs to go. Kent's on the same wavelength as me. The only thing he's ever got on target is spitting at people. He can't cross. He can't shoot, and he can't pass. So what can he do?
But this is what we've got at the minute, James. Yeah, this is what we've got. That's what I'm saying. If you look at my tier list, I want him. I don't think he has a few, but I'm picking of what we've got now on our disposal.
Yeah, the next guy.
For the next game. Yeah,
I would rather put. I'd rather put Ben Johnson there. Like, if you're going to play a system like that, put Ben Johnson there. Are you telling me that Ben Johnson and who would you rather have as a defensive position, Ben Johnson or Masuaku?
Masuaku
against Wolves or just in general?
Against Wolves as a defensive person.
I'm gonna in the conversation that we're having, I'd rather see Masuaku there because of his pace to help deal with Traore, and Andy brought that up. That's where I'm going with that. Not necessarily going forward. You know, I wouldn't have expected to have seen Fredericks come in to play a defensive left attacking winger against right attacking winger against Villa, but he came in and it worked against Grealish, you know?
Right, yeah, let's ask this though, right? So if we set up a 5-3-2 system, that's what it will be with wing backs. Do you think playing Wolves, after the way we played, especially in the first half against Arsenal, and Arsenal are no mugs, let's be realistic here. If they go up to Wolves and set up a 5-3-2 system to counter players, we are scared to go forward. And to me, that is not good. Like, we should be attacking.
We beat Leicester 3-0.
We didn't go 5-3-2 against Villa, though, James, did we? We went 4-2-3-1 with him just kind of floating down that right-hand side, didn't
he? You went 4-5-1. That's how you went with inverted wingers. Like, the wingers sat back and went in that way. Yeah, but then you can also say it worked at Leeds away. And you can also say it worked at other places away. Like, at the end of the day, like, this is supposed to be 9 games from glory, and we're treating it like it's 9 games from a relegation battle. Like, I want the team to be on the front.
I'm just thinking it's clever.
Yeah.
Hey, see, listen, James.
I've got Masuaku in
there. Listen, James. I know your feelings, and we do. We've done enough of these shows between you, me, Gatesy, and Andy being there, and that's what I like about this show in general, the one that we put together on a Tuesday night, because everyone does have their own opinions. And listen, this would be a boring show if we all just agreed and went, yeah, we'd be done in 15 minutes. There'd be no point. Gatesy, your opinions on that formation for me?
I like it. I might even sort of suggest maybe dropping Lingard into the number 10 and putting Ben Rama as the number 9.
Yeah.
Or you could even say, could Bowen go as the number 9 and you put Lingard or Antonio or Ben Rama on the right, Do you know what I mean? So those three can interchange, and obviously Fornals can drop into the 10, and Benrahma could go left. So those four players could be all over the place. I mean, it would be an absolute nightmare. I mean, that's the. I mean, a lot of people look at this false nine setup and think it's a little bit negative, but the thing that people maybe don't understand is that it causes absolute havoc for the centre backs, because if you've got a player that's strictly speaking a midfielder, and they're dropping deep into sort of like into midfield to pick up the ball, and they're sort of buzzing around, the chaos it causes a centre back, because they're playing against a forward that's not taking up conventional positions. So it's like, right, well, do I then step out and man mark them, which then leaves a gap at the back for maybe someone else to exploit? Or do I let them sort of like just let them go and then they buzz around between the lines? If you can utilize a false nine correctly, and let's not forget, Spain did it to very good effect, because people forget when they won the European Championships in 2012. I think you'll find they did it with Cesc Fabregas playing as a false nine, and they won it. So if you utilize it correctly, it's far from a defensive setup. I think if you've got some very intelligent and some quick players, which, let's have it right, we have, maybe not people with rapid pace, but they're quick enough. And we've got intelligent players like Benrahma, like Lingard, like Fornals, that can sort of occupy this, find the pockets of space all across the pitch. I think it's a system that could work. And the beauty as well was having Antonio as an impact sub is that he can be used in short, sharp bursts. And instead of him being flogged for 90 minutes, and he's like 3-4 games of that on a row, and he's done. He's then out for a couple of weeks and all the rest of it. So, it gets the best out of him. He can then sort of like come on for the last 30 minutes, pow. And really sort of, the defenders are tiring, and it's sort of 60 minutes, 70 minutes. And then you've got him coming on fresh, running at you. Oh, my God. Absolute nightmare for the opposition. So I don't see his defensive
throwing his weight around as well, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it.
Right, Gatesy, give us some of the comments in the chat, because I'm freezing me nuts off here. I'm not going to lie.
Cathal here. Wolves literally have no striker. We need to play attacking against a team like that. And again, I agree with that. I mean, this is not the Wolves of the last 2 seasons. Last season, Wolves had that European campaign that started in, 1986, I think it was, and then just carried on all the way through. It went on forever. This isn't the same Wolves side. I mean, they sold Doherty, they sold Jota. They've obviously lost Jimenez. You've got... Traore, whose form seems to have dropped off of a cliff. This is not the same Wolves team, So for me, we need to play I'm not saying go completely gung ho. There has to be a balance. Don't get me wrong. I'm not advocating putting Arthur Masuaku at left fullback, for instance. No, but there needs to be that little bit of a balance, but we need to try and press the advantage. I mean, you look at where Wolves are, you look at where we are, you look at our respective forms. We shouldn't be going there with any sort of inferiority complex. Yeah. So let's have a go. Let's set up in a way where we're going to try and attack them.
I totally agree, but we could go in there too confident and lose 3-0. Do you see what I mean?
But the flip side of that coin, Andy, is that we could set up meek and mild and get beat 1-0, and then everybody's sort of like moaning and groaning and saying Moyes didn't set up properly. I think most West Ham fans would absolutely they would understand if we lost 1-0, but we was trying to win the game, and it was obvious to everyone watching that we tried to win the game, we'd accept it. A bit like we did at City, okay? But when we set up in a way that is obviously negative and is obviously happy with the point, I can understand that when we're going away to Manchester City, Liverpool, teams like that. I can kind of understand it, even though I don't like it, but not going to a team like Wolves in the state that they're in at the minute.
Oh, sorry, Jones.
This mentality, this negative mentality, has got to stop at this club. Like we are a good attacking team, and like it just seems like we're always we're always thinking like, hold a minute, we're going to have to set up to counter them. What about them setting up to counter
Yeah.
us with Ben Rama,
100%.
Bowen, and Lingard? And I know it's been years, and I can like sort of say this, right? But for years as a West Ham fan, we can all relate to this. We've had teams where it's never 2 games are the same. Like it's always one good game, one bad game, 2 bad games, 1 good game. It's never sort of like a consistent in my mind, right? But when we're playing teams, and even what you just said there, Gatesy, about going to Manchester and all that, even then I would want us to go up there and set up positive because it's a free hit. Like if we go up there and win,
I get that.
And also,
but what I'm saying is, it doesn't surprise me. I can kind of, although I don't like it, I can kind of get it. Whereas when it's teams with, and I don't mean this with any disrespect, if there's any Wolves fan watching that's thinking, oh, he's got ideas above his station. No. But the reality is, we are having a better season than Wolves. That the stats prove
that's
it.
a winnable game.
So we shouldn't be turning up.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying, but the thing is, when everyone says that when you play with a back 5, it's defensively, it's not. Because when you're attacking, you've got more people going forward. Masuaku is a defender and an attacker. Same as whoever's playing on the right, they're a defender and attacker. It's just extra help when you're defending.
I'm not being funny enough. I think a 5 at the back is defensive, in my opinion.
All right, I'll call it 3-4-3. I'll call it 3-4-3 then. It's not defensive.
Right. But hold on a minute. But that's a different system altogether, though, because you're playing. You got a 5 at the back. You got 3-4-3. You can play a 4-2-3-1 system. Obviously, if you're playing 5 at the back,
look at that.
Let's be honest. If you're going to defend.
But no, it wasn't. We didn't change the system until Noble come on, and we conceded 2 goals. So
no, but I'll tell you what it means there, Andy.
I'll tell you what the key was though. That was
is the fact that Bowen came out and said it. Once the players went 3-0 up, something twigged in the back of the players, and Bowen even commented on it in an interview afterwards, that the players switched into a defensive mode. The system didn't change. The system wasn't changed. It was the way that the players approached that part. After we went 3-0 up, the players approached the rest of the game differently, and that's why they started.
But that's not Moyes' fault, though, is it?
No. It's the inbuilt defensiveness. Go on, James.
Right. Let's be honest here. At 3-1, was anyone confident? Because I was.
No.
Right. So that says it all to me.
As soon as they got that goal.
Yeah.
But as a set of players, they decided to defend and they can't do it.
We needed to get, and it's not. I'm not saying anything revelatory, but we needed to get to halftime with the clean sheet intact.
Yeah, 100%.
And we
I couldn't agree with you more.
And we win that game.
And the problem is with West Ham, and it always has been, is we set up in a negative way, especially under Moyes. Now, listen, we can all praise Moyes, and we can all go, Moyes is great, he's doing well, and everything. Yeah, I respect that. But we've also got to not praise him when he sets up with 8 defensive-minded players against Brighton. Like the mighty Brighton of the Champions League contender Brighton and things like that. So I'm sorry, but I want my team, right? I've seen West Ham have absolute rubbish over the years with players. I want to see my team on the front foot, scoring goals, making attacks. I don't want to see my team defending for 90 minutes to try and get a point. Do you know what I mean? They would get more respect from the fans, right? And they would, and I said it on West Ham Fan TV, if they went for it and lost. They went for it and went, come on, we're all in it together, and we lose 1 or 2-0. We can go, you know what, walk away from there and go, you know what, we had a go.
I'd rather see that. That's what I'd rather see.
Let's rewind. Let's go to the Etihad game. We lost that, didn't we? But how did we all feel on the back of it?
Oh, great.
Because we had a go. A go. And on another day, we might have got a point. We might have even got all 3. But we had a go. Now, contrast that to the game at home to Liverpool. How did you feel after that? Did we set up in a way, did at any point we threaten to get even a point in that match, let alone all 3? And how did you feel off the back of it?
See, the best way I look at this, right, is I can understand it 5 at the back if we're in a relegation battle. But I could get it. If we're going up to a place and we're going, right, we need to try and get something from this game. But when we're going up to teams like Wolves this year, who ain't performing very well, you've only got to look at the Crystal Palace away game. Right, we played really well there. Right, this negative mentality has got to stop at this club, and until that stops, everyone here at 3-0 up. Right, I was sitting here and I said to my mate, I said, we need another one. I said, I just don't trust this team. Like if that's a top. If that's, I ain't gonna say Tottenham because they don't against us, but if that's a top team like Liverpool or Chelsea or something, that's game over. Game over. Good night. Even though Chelsea done it this year and all against Southampton.
One person that hasn't, that's been a bit quiet. Steve, are you still with us, mate?
Well, I'm still with you, mate. I'm just listening. It's all very interesting.
What's your thoughts, mate?
My thoughts, well, my first thought was on the Masuaku point playing in. I wouldn't, because he can't cross the ball. How many times has he hit the first man? How many goals do we score with our head, Souček coming in late? And that's why I wouldn't start Masuaku. Attacking, I think we got serious intent of having a crack at top four. We've got to give it a go at Wolves. No, because I'd rather come seventh and we really giving it a go than we come, I don't know, sixth and we just shut up shop. And I actually think we've got a team that is capable of giving Wolves, of absolutely spanking Wolves. We did it earlier in the season. I don't see why we can't do it again. I don't think.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't they have Jimenez in that game, Steve?
You did.
I can't remember. I'm getting old. Memory sort of the guide to what might have happened.
Right, let me bring this man in, and then let me bring him in. But Steve, you can carry on with your point for me.
Okay.
Carry on, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, nobody was more surprised than me when we spanked Wolves 4-0 and spanked Leicester 3-0. And everybody's saying, oh, you know, we've got Wolves, Leicester, they're tough games. Hang on a minute, we're 7-0 up on aggregate against those two teams.
Yeah, but, well, hold on though, Steve. Alan Irvine was in charge of them two. David Moyes had COVID.
Maybe that's what needs to happen. Maybe that's what needs to happen.
You know what I mean? That's why we're 7-0 up, because if David Moyes in charge, it's like 1-0, 8 behind the ball near enough. Do you know what I mean?
Good evening, Pete. How are you?
What's up, Mike? Yo, these headphones I got suck, dog. They're garbage, man. Honestly,
I didn't pay for you.
I got them all synced up and everything, and then like as soon as you guys come on, it goes to speaker, man.
Pete, go into your settings for your go into the settings for your microphone and your camera. It will tell you how to change it in now.
Settings. Okay, hold up.
Where it says camera and mic, and then when it comes to mic and audio, you need to change it to your headphones, buddy. That might help you.
Yeah, I got it.
Tech support is free.
Right? I've said it for months, James. If we were 2 points above relegation with the worst goal difference to the bottom three, I can understand dropping off teams. And we're going to look back. You know what? Yeah. I think, Ken's got a point. Yeah, that's a fair point. And always has a point, doesn't he? Let's not mess around.
I completely agree with what Steve was saying, for what it's worth, Steve, in that I would be much happier if we fail, but we go down on our shield, so to speak, that we've had a go, we've attacked teams on the front foot. You know, these last 9 games, I mean, what have we got? We've got obviously Wolves, we've got Leicester, we've got Newcastle, we've got Burnley, we've got Southampton, we've got West Brom, we've got Brighton. Who else we got? There's one team I'm missing.
Chelsea, Newcastle, Burnley, Brighton.
Chelsea, that's the one. So,
okay,
I'm not being funny. Possibly, even can anybody look at those fixtures and say there isn't a game that we should be looking to pick up 3 points in? For me, we should be looking up. We should be aiming for 27 points. Now, I'm not saying we're going to achieve 27 points. But what I'm saying is we should be aiming for it. If we've got aspirations of actually doing anything, that should be our aim. We should be aiming to win every single one of them games. And if by having that mentality we lose 3 or 4 of them, so be it. So be it. But I would rather attack it with that mentality than to be, all meek and mild about it. And we end up sort of like with, say, 10 points at the end of the season. And then we go, well, what could have been? So I completely agree with Steve on that.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that's the way I'll go. I'm just saying we've got alternative.
Oh, no, it wasn't aimed at you, Milesy. It wasn't aimed at you specifically. It was just a more general point, mate.
Yeah, no. I've shared it there. I don't know if you want to share it. That's the fixtures there. I don't know if you want to share if you can perform to my screen.
Hang on, sorry, I got it.
You got it?
Oh, hang on. There, you got it. Okay.
Wolves are away, Leicester home. Not saying that. It's only really the last couple of games that are going to be anything that are worth being home or away because of the way the season is, isn't it, really?
Yeah, but the problem is with these fixtures, right, on form and how we've been with these before, we don't win at Brighton, we don't win at Wolves, we don't beat Burnley away, and we've got a poor record at Newcastle. And I'm just saying that from past. Obviously this year's a different year, but we've got poor records at Burnley, Brighton, Wolves, Newcastle, and obviously we've got Everton, who are a tough nut to crack also. So,
can I say something there? That is history, and if you look at poor performances, well, Moyes had never beaten Mourinho. He did this time, didn't he?
Yeah.
Listen, we've got to just think it's a good time to be a West Ham fan at this point in time. And I think we can all agree with that. Pete, where you gone? Oh, there you are. He's playing hide and seek with us. How you doing, big fella? You good? Oh, what's going on? Oh, he's on mute. Hang on, Pete. You've muted yourself. Unmute Mike. Can't unmute. Right. Pete, unmute yourself. No, try again. What's he done? Now try.
I did. It's good now, no?
Hey!
So, Pete, come on. You've only just joined us. Well, on and off, because I reckon everyone kept trying to phone you. Give us your opinions on everything we talked about tonight. Come on, talk to me. Before we call it a day, I want your opinion.
I like Lingard up front. Man. With Ben Rama behind him, and I do agree. Antonio's had he's run his bollocks off for half the whole season, man. So he needs a rest, man.
Yeah, I think they'll be down. I think
I've think said that in the chat.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a tough one. Pete, what do you reckon on Troy Deeney saying that we could lose Rice at the end of the season for about 60 million quid?
He is a numpty, man. He's never liked us, man. Piss on that man. Piss on that man. He could be Anthony Joshua's best friend in the world. I don't business. I don't care. That's just talk sport. They hate us, dog. They don't like us, and people that go on and don't like us. He's a what's it, man. He's a what's it, man.
How's the weather in Canada, Pete?
Oh, sunny, beautiful. It's almost like a summer day today. Honest. It's I think it's 20 degrees. It's almost like a summer day today, man.
We've had a day like that.
It's lovely, yeah.
How's the weather where you guys are at, man?
Beautiful. It was about 22. I don't know about where you were, but it was about 22 where I was today. But someone told me we're getting snow next week. I was like, what?
Yeah, apparently, we could be Tuesday or Wednesday. We could be looking at snow. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't get it.
It always happens though. Because my birthday is mid-April, and we always get a snowfall. When I was born, my mom and dad put out the patio furniture, and then they had to bring the patio furniture back in because it was snowing on April the 12th. And my birthday is April 10th, and it was snowing 2 days after that.
Pete, we've had a question in the chat.
Go on.
We've had a question in the chat. What are your biscuits today, Peach?
What's my
Scott wants
biscuits
to know.
today? Hobnobs all day long. Milk chocolate covered hobnobs, dog, with some cider.
See, the only problem I've got with them, Peach, is the fact that they drink half your cup of tea when you're dunking.
Oh, but ain't it
That's
beautiful?
my only problem
Ain't
with
it
him, is they drink
beautiful,
half
dog?
the cup.
Yeah, but it's so beautiful. Sometimes I just like leave them in there and then like spoon them out at the end, dog. Oh. And it turns to like chocolatey tea. It turns like to chocolatey tea. I love it, dog. It's like when you used to eat those like cocoa pebbles, and then like because they're chocolate, it would make the like chocolate milk chocolate. Like, oh, come on, man.
Sorry, guys. I've just looked at the weather for next week, and on next Monday could feel like -9.
Yes.
Yeah. What? Like
global warming.
I know.
I'd
And
like
then
to point out,
Tuesday-
7 days later, I open my pub, Andy. It better not be like that then.
No, I'm coming. I'm coming to the pub on the Saturday.
I'm coming to the pub
I'll book
whenever
you a
I can
table.
get a flight over, dog.
Gatesy, we're going on Saturday. Are you busy on the Saturday?
Well,
Should we gate
I've
crash?
already got a table book. That's the 17th, isn't it?
No, but
It
I'm on
is.
about the Saturday. You're going on the Sunday,
Yeah.
you said,
Yeah,
weren't you?
no.
Or you going both days?
I've got Sunday dinner booked for the Sunday, but I can put in
He
appearance
can
on the
do
Saturday.
both
not a
days, I'm
problem.
sure he can, can't he?
Yeah. Don't worry about that.
Fat boy,
I'll be
you coming?
Hey, Duke,
Coming for a pint?
Dude,
Yes, I
how's the food
I
at
might
your
have to
place, dog?
consider a road trip, of course. You know what I mean?
Listen,
To
you're
here
all
we go.
more than welcome.
Across the
First
bridge.
round's on me.
You know what I mean?
Sorry, Peach, what was you saying?
How is the food at your place?
Ask Gatesy, he eats there more than I do.
Well, Gatesy would eat a
Well,
whole like
one of-
Gatesy would eat a whole island, dog. Gatesy would eat a whole blood clot island, dog. How do you mean?
That's a vicious and scurrilous rumor, Peach, that I started.
Right, Gatesy.
I'll
Gatesy.
Yep.
Do your bit for Isla for me, my man.
Before I do that, could you just fill up a little bit of time? I'm just making up a banner. Just bear with me. Just chat amongst yourselves for a
It's
minute.
all right. It's all right
Oh.
to shout out about my show on Saturday.
Yes, do your
Yeah, crack
thing,
on.
because that I tell you what,
Yeah.
that's going to be the one. That's the one.
Yeah.
I'm jumping on that right away. I'm gonna be watching.
Well, I'm going to see if I can. If anyone's got any question, I'm going to try and get people on. I've got a show Saturday, 10:30 on Hammers Poles. It's going to be me and Jazz from West Ham Online, West Ham Fan TV, and basically we're going to do a Q&A session with like predictions for the weekend football with ex West Ham employee, and we're going to talk transfers, transfer budgets, and see basically who's staying, who's going, and what's going on in the world of West Ham in the summer, because it's a big summer this year. So we're gonna get him on. We're gonna have a chat, and it should be interesting.
I read that in the comments. You're getting Sean on. I read that in the comments, man. Good for you, man.
Looking forward to that, mate. I'll be all over that, and I think you might have a couple of questions from me and Gatesy. Kent has just said that Isla was on Channel 4 tonight. I didn't see that. I've been stuck out in the freezing cold with you lot for the last hour, and I'm only getting colder right now. And Scott has said he's going to be popping up for a pint as well. So listen, if any of you are, local to Kent, want to pop in, come on
That's
in.
where you need
Ask
to
for
go.
me. I'll be there. We're at the ball. We're at the ball there. Look, he's done it. He's made it. There it is. Right on top of Blue Water. So when the shop's open, you can send the lady shopping, and you can all come in and spend your lovely afternoon, and we can talk West Ham for a good few hours. That'll be, I'll tell you what.
You guys should do a video there, man. You guys should do a video there, like all of you together.
We're going to be
like,
Peach. Don't you worry. That's already on that's already in the plan. That one, Peach. Don't you worry.
I love it.
I've already got a plan that involves the pub. Duke and I have discussed it, but I'm not going to say too much more than that. But there is something that we've got in the pipeline.
We got it all in mind. God knows how many shows we're going to have, Gatesy, at this point. I tell you, we're far too many.
It's going to be fun, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got to enjoy yourself. You're a long time dead, guys. You've got to enjoy yourselves.
We only live once, isn't that right? Gatesy, do your thing.
Do my thing. Okay, so guys, if you've made it this far, thanks for staying with us. I'm just going to change the banner here. For those regulars amongst you, you'll know what this is about. And for those of you that are not, this might come as a little bit of education for you, because that is about a young girl, 6-year-old girl, Isla Caton. Now, she is currently really ill with a really rare and aggressive form of childhood cancer called neuroblastoma. Now, this doesn't have any treatment in this country on the NHS. Her family have got to stop everything, take her to wherever they've got to take her in the world to try and save her life. No other way of putting it. They've got to pay for her treatment. They've got to pay for the accommodation. They've got to pay for the airfares to and from, living costs. And they've still got all the bills coming in the UK. That doesn't stop just because their child's ill. That's still coming in. That still needs to be paid. So they've got all these bills. They've got a sick child. It's happening in the middle of a pandemic. Guys, if you've got a family and you've got a child around this age, or a grandchild or a nephew, niece, or whatever, and you can envisage that happening to them, God forbid, you can probably understand the turmoil that this family are going through, the stress. It's absolute hell on earth. There's no exaggeration there. Now, you've got a PayPal there. You've got a Just Giving there. This is a personal appeal from us at Falls from Iron to help this little girl out, to help this family out. They're in desperate need. With every day that goes past, there's more and more odds that are getting stacked up against this little girl. She's a 6-year-old girl. She shouldn't have to be going through this. It's as simple as that. So we need to try and come together. West Ham fans, football fans. I don't care whether you're not even interested in football, quite frankly. If you're a decent human being, if you've got any money you can put in the tin, please do so. I beg you. If there's nothing that you can put in the tin, then I say, okay, fine, not a problem. But could you just take this message and transfer it across to all your contacts? You know, send it everywhere. Okay. I'm talking all your contacts, because it may well be that there's someone out there that can help if you can't. That's all I want to say, other than thank you for listening.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Can I just ask Ken? Is it stand up to cancer? Is that what it is, Ken? Because I've got my family have just chucked Channel 4 on, Channel 4 Plus one. I think they're in the inside watching. If you could just put in there that's what it is, and I'll make sure they carry on watching that. Listen, guys, I want to thank all of you that joined me.
And the next show tomorrow. The show
I was
tomorrow.
about
our
to
show tomorrow.
Hold yourself. I was about to bring you in on that. Blimey.
And my grand entry.
Joe,
And my grand entry.
Your
It's all
grand
right to say,
entry.
like,
Go on, James.
Is it all right to say, like, a small thing about, obviously, Claude? Like, obviously, we mentioned it in the show. And,
Yes.
like, do you know what I mean? I think it'd be nice for, like, just to say, like, wish his family well. Like, the man, no, not being funny, I never met the man. And, obviously, Fan TV started with Arsenal Fan TV. And basically, they started it. And let's be honest, we wouldn't be in there if they weren't doing it in the first place, I don't think. And he was one of the main key reasons why basically how Arsenal Fan TV becomes so big. I didn't know the man, but at the end of the day, any man who's going through depression, whether it's a woman or a man, child or anything, it's tough. And at the end of the day, I feel for him, mate. I know he's not here no more, but his family are, and they're suffering. So I just want to say all the condolences to his family. And if you ever feel the need to speak to someone, a problem shared is a problem half, mate. At the end of the day.
100%, James.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I was just about to say there, James. Casey, can you just take the banner down a second? I just want to check something.
Yep.
I just want to check. Right, as you can see there, guys, with regards to me, Gatesy and James, our Twitter handles are on there. Okay, Andy's is there as well. If anyone needs just someone to talk to and ear to bed, if it's just you need to rant for 10-15 minutes to get things off of your chest, listen, we're all here. Our Twitter handles are up there. Please use the inboxes. All the bits are at the bottom there as well. Gmail and everything else. If you feel that you need someone to talk to, please reach out. As I those that follow me on Facebook and that will know that I suffered back in November, and I was in a really bad place, really dark place, and I reached out and I spoke to a couple of people, and I felt significantly better for it. It's always about talking to someone. It's always about reaching out and getting the help that you can get. So if you don't feel like you can talk to family or directly to friends or people that you're involved with in your life, reach out to one of us here at Ultra Mind. You got James, you got Andy, you got me, you got Gatesy. Pretty sure Peachy's in that case. He'll always reach out and you can talk to him as well, guys. Steve, if you're there and you want to put something up, please do. But you know what, like James said, with regards to Claude there, I think we all had a bloody good giggle at Arsenal Fans TV, and Claude was part of that. He was the part that brought the fan TV and those channels to the forefront. And R.I.P. to Claude. Thoughts and prayers from all of us here on the channel. To his family, to his friends, and everyone else. And again, guys, if you need someone to talk to, I don't want to leave it on a down note as such, but we are all here. We are, we're available to talk to 24/7. If you need someone to talk to, we're here. Please don't suffer in silence and think that you've got to do it on your own. Okay. As we just said, we got another. Yes.
Just like to, guys, those of you that have got a drink, raise your glass. To Claude.
To Claude.
To Claude.
Legend.
Absolutely agree with you there, James.
God bless you, sir.
As we were saying, guys, we've got another show going out tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Gates, is that right? I don't know what I'm asking you. Yes, it is. I know it is. It's 5 o'clock. Sure? Shut up. I know it is. Yes.
No, I thought it was 6:45.
No. Hammer time of our lives. Our memories show 86, 87.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, this is the recording. Right, okay.
Yes. My good God. That's me, Andy and Gatesy talking about our memories, our favourite games and our hammer of the year from the season 1986, 1987. So please check that one out tomorrow. That goes out at 5 dinner time. So you can all sit down, chuck it on the TV, chuck it on your phone, chuck it on your laptop, whatever it is you've got, and have a watch the three of us talking rubbish for an hour. And then tomorrow night, 7:15, 7 o'clock, 7:15, one of them two. We're going live, me, Gates, and anyone else who wishes to join us again for just a bit of an England preview. Talking about what formations and predictions and stuff for tomorrow night's game. Guys, if you've enjoyed the video, like Scott has said there, brilliant show. Hit a like. If you're not if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to that channel. Gatesy, do your stuff there with your little flashy rubbish in the middle of the screen. Come on, hurry up. There you go. So hit the like button,
the
guys,
video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, and you'll be notified of any new content as and when Duke and I upload it.
Put your teeth back in.
Peach, you're on mute.
Peach, hang on.
Duke, I want to ask you something, dog. Where did you get that hat? Where did you get that hat?
I got this for Christmas, Peach. I got it for Christmas.
It's beautiful.
And because I'm named after John Wayne. I'm named after John Wayne, whose nickname was the Duke. So I'm a cowboy. Yeah. I was Claret and Blue Cowboy on Twitter for a while, wasn't I? So that's going to be my thing now. He's going to be wearing my cowboy hat. For anyone who cares, anyone who don't care, I've told you anyway.
You know where I got this? You know where I got this hat? I got this hat from. It's a channel called Hammers Fans United, and homeboy sent me this hat from like London, dog. I just got it the other day. I'm like,
I actually do like that hat, Peach. Mine's better though.
It's dope, right? I got one more question though for all of y'all. I did the predictor thing. I did the predictor thing, like where you can see where we're gonna finish up at the end of the season, and I was harsh on West Ham, straight up, like draws here, loss there, like maybe win here, there. I had us finishing 6th. Did any of you guys do that?
Yep. Gatesy?
Yeah.
I haven't done a predictor in terms of where we're going to finish necessarily, because it's always dependent upon the results of the other teams, and I'm not going to sit there and go through all the other games as well.
It was every team. It was every team. So I
Yeah,
did like
I've
Chelsea,
not done that.
Sheffield, all them.
Yeah, no, I've just sort of done our results, and I did it probably with about 12 games to go, if I remember rightly, and I had us finishing on 70.
Yeah, we done that, Gatesy, didn't we, before the Arsenal game when we done that preview show, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was,
you had us finishing where?
But obviously,
where did you have us finishing?
No, I had us finishing on 70 points, but I've not done it with all the other teams, the other 19 teams in the Premier League.
Okay.
So I can't sort of say where we're going to finish in relation to them, but I'm not being funny. If we finish on 70 points, well, put it this way. If we'd have had 70 points last season, we'd have comfortably been in third. Now, obviously, you don't know that's going to be enough for it this season. We shall see. But if we get 70, dreamland, mate.
No, 100%. But I did the thing, and I had us finishing on 70, 70, and fifth place ended up being, I forget who, but they were like 73. And so that's one game. So like fourth is still in. Is it true if we finish in fifth, we can still qualify for Champions League?
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
No,
I don't know if it's
like
the
only way that
team will finish cup or that cup or
the only way that would happen is if we won the Champions League the year before and finished outside. If we finished fifth, that's the only way that it can be done.
Okay.
All right, boys. Listen, it's about -2 out here now in this lovely backwoods area that I'm in. So I'm going to call it a day.
It's beautiful here, dog. It's beautiful here, dog. You need to come to Canada, Duke.
Is that it, James? Have we got it right? That's it.
That's it.
Hey!
I can do that now, dog.
Anyone else?
Do that now.
Casey, come on. You're up. Yeah. Casey, come on. Don't let us down. Casey. You know what, guys?
Steve, are you even trying, mate? Are you even trying? Hang on. You're all having a go at me. What's Steve doing?
It's like what's
Steve doing?
Gatesy looks like he's playing the piano.
Don't ask me. Don't ask me. I've got no idea.
Look at Andy.
You're all. Listen, boys, you're all mad. I love you all. I shall see you next week. One last thing. Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.